Dwarf.
Dwarfs. I thought you said porn.
Well, white and
Maybe the
actually, at some point, the show was called On the Spectrum. But then I got someone that was autistic that came up to me like, "Oh my god, thank you for being your voice about autism." And stuff.
Are you?
I mean, I'm probably autistic, but I don't want to get tested. So I have a question. Last word is a question. What's the biggest animal you think you can beat in a fight?
Sheep.
A sheep? Not bad. I like it. It's a good one.
Horse.
Ostrich.
Almost.
Ostrich? Way bigger.
Yeah,
The big birds. Yeah, they can take. I've done research.
Long legs to a sheep, long neck, it makes it more.
And you give it a beak, and you completely change a lot of things about it. Yeah.
They both lay eggs. It was a joke.
Okay, you maybe are autistic then. We feel you.
So, Richard, you are into bodybuilding, right?
Yes, because I realized when I was 16, 17 that I stopped growing and that I would not grow more, and that if I went
It was
to
a late realization.
yes, when I realized that I was not gonna grow anymore, I knew that I had to do something if I wanted to have any value on the dating market at some point.
Oh, wow.
So I started working as I'm all about markets.
Did it work?
It actually worked, yeah. I remember the first time when I started working out, a girl actually like she had a boyfriend who was next to her, and she started grabbing my arm, just like, "Oh, touch it!" And she took her boyfriend's hand and was like, "Touch his arm, it's so big," and he was like, "No." I so understand it. He should have left her there and there. Then and there, yeah.
It's with those glasses, like, even with the glasses.
I didn't have glasses back then.
Oh,
No, I just was seeing in a blurry way.
makes sense. It's a house for the dating market.
Easy. The no glasses?
Not see.
Not see? Oh yeah. Lowers expectations. You can I can pick more kind of stuff.
Yeah, wow. Like, your favorite artist is Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I really like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh yeah, let's talk about your characters. You're into character comedy.
Yes. Sometimes when I don't know what I want to do, and depending on what kind of crowd I'm in, I bust out like an Arnold, for example. I like to do it. It's like, yeah.
How did it come? Like, why Arnold?
Because I started working out, so I watch bodybuilding clips, and then you see like videos of Arnold being like, "Yeah, the pump, it's the best feeling in the world. It's like coming when you have sex and you come." That's an actual quote.
Oh, wow.
And then I hear it and I watch it over and over, and at some point we say, "Yeah, the pump is the best feeling in the world." And at some point I just brought it on stage, and
And it did it?
no, it worked. I'm just retarded when I do Arnold. I just go on stage and I'm fully retarded, and the audience is kind of there for it. They're like, "Hey, what's you mean?" Brian, fuck you, Brian. That's what I do, yeah. It's dumb enough.
Well, I mean, maybe I'll cut this part, but it's hard to distinguish when you are not
Oh, I'm-
stupid or
I'm always retarded.
retarded.
But sometimes I'm also retarded in Arnold's voice.
Oh.
That's what I like to change the...
Yeah, well, it's such a nice comedic style. Like, if people ask you, like, what's your style to comedy, I'm just retarded.
I like I like saying dumb stuff, but I like saying the dumb stuff in a way that makes sense, and then I make people dumb with me. That's what I like to do.
Yeah.
Bring them down to my level.
Exactly, like, all crowd. It actually leads us to actual question. Like, you are one of the best in crowd work. I don't know if you
Here
did
in
Luxembourg in Luxembourg. How did it started? Like, how did you manage? Or it's just your normal state and
Actually,
I wouldn't like to be your colleague or whatever you.
oh no! If I have no soul when I'm at work.
Hmm.
I'm just,
Oh.
hey Richard, hey, because I know if I say anything, I'm gonna end up at HR. So at work, I'm really boring. But outside of work, the thing is, I've always tried to make jokes, and at some point when I was doing comedy, you know as well as I do that it's not very thankful job when you do comedy, because you write jokes, they bomb, you feel sad about yourself, and at some point I was like, I want to go on stage, but I don't want to write anything. So I just went and I did crowdwork, and I did that for about a year. So at some point you become good and I really liked it. I became one of the best in it in Luxembourg, and now doing material again after a long time off.
Yeah. Wow. How does it make you feel? If someone wants to be good at crowd work, do you have any suggestion, recommendation, these people?
The
Be retarded.
be retarded works because that's how I started. I just was seeing someone in the crowd like, you look, and then I would say, when I look at people, I always have a weird thought that comes in my mind. You know, like I don't just look like, oh, this guy looks nice or whatever. I'm like, Eddie, he looks like he plays tennis on Fridays with his father. You know, that's what I think. You know, and that means he's a user to be better because I don't have a father, so I'm jealous. But yeah, so that's how it works. I always kind of have thoughts. I go very far when I see something. I just do a lot of assumptions and then I bring this on stage. And sometimes it can bring to places, you know. Also, it's a thing where I don't make fun of the people so much. So it's more that I talk to them and then I find out what's funny about them because everyone does funny stuff about you.
They are therefore being roasted.
Not roasted because, I mean, like for example, the show I have with Sandeep, Dating Confessions, we make fun a little bit of people, but we make mostly fun of like the context of the stories. And most people, they're there for it, but not for the roast. It's not a roast. It's more like, you know, if when you tell a story with your friends, they'll add jokes to it. They'll, without being mean to you, it's just like, it's them making your story funnier, adding to the joke, going with you on some jokes, you know, stuff like that.
Talking about dating confessions, maybe they can come with kids dating. How is it going?
First, about dating confessions, I would say that the whole concept is people give stories to us and we talk with them about the story and everything. And yeah, we have great stories. Some of them are just disgusting. We had one guy that walked in on a friend of his having a girl poop on his chest, you know.
What?
Yeah.
Is this a fantasy or was it a mistake?
No. She was like on top of him, butthole aimed straight to the chest, and he was into it. And of course, that was a German guy because, you know, ever since they don't do world wars anymore, they have to find other things to do.
That's I'm talking about. Like, imagine German people watching this. Now they're offended, right?
They know what they're doing. They know what they do. The Germans are like, yeah.
Okay, leave a comment if you're a German.
And I am actually scared of Germans, so I'm trying to be careful. But I'm sure every German that watches this, the 4 people that will watch it, if one of them is German, they will know another German that does crazy things in the bed, for sure.
Dating confessions, how did it start and how is it going?
The way it started is because so you were talking about the characters I do, and one time I want to do a character with Sandeep. Well, it was the very first time we stood on a stage together, and I played a character that kind of also very retarded. Just like, you know, one of those rapper. When you have a rapper, often in the background there's one of their friends that goes like, "Oh yeah," you know, kind of hyping them up. That's what I was being Sandeep's hype man. So he was just doing his jokes, and I was like, "Yeah, he," and it was funny. The people liked it and everything, and we just enjoyed being on stage together. So then we were for a long time looking for a concept that we could do, where we could be on stage together doing improv. And at some point we found out, we found the idea of dating confession. We're going with it. It's one of the favorite shows that I ever do.
So it brings us to the next subject. Like they say, I don't know if you read gay. They say, the bigger chunky trauma you have, the funnier you get. Do you agree?
I don't know. I feel like there is some truth to that, but I know a lot of people with shitty childhoods that are not funny, you know. So yeah, it's not a guarantee. I wouldn't go for it. I wouldn't traumatize my kid just to make him funny because you might end up in a way where he's just fucked up.
Yeah, like so. But for yourself, do you think there's a correlation?
I had a fucked up childhood after, but I'm not sure how much it made me funny because I remember when I was a kid, before I got fucked up yet, I was actively thinking at some points like, oh, what could I say now that would make everyone laugh? Those were actual thoughts I had in my mind, and it was before I was fucked up, so, or consciously fucked up. You know, deservedly fucked up.
Did you have someone funny in your family, friends, school, whenever someone?
My mom was pretty funny in the family. She was the funny one. But else, I was just watching comedians back then. I was enjoying.
Cool.
Yeah.
Also, you said you didn't have father, but did I said that I want to ask anything about that, but thanks for sharing. Thanks.
You can ask. I mean, I don't know. That's a podcast. That's a podcast. That's a different podcast for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But I didn't even know him, so I don't have a story about that. Yeah.
That's something.
Nothing funny. No, actually, the one thing it's funny in a very dark humor way, is that my father had children before me, and I think, I'm not sure because I don't know them, after me also as well, and he took care of them, but not me. Which, that is kind of funny if you really think about it. But like it's a really exclusive treatment, like this one. But actually, I think it's more tells more about my mom than does about me, so I'll exempt it. It's okay.
Oh my god. No, I don't know which one I should be sorry about.
Yeah, it's okay. You're not my father. You're not my father, right? Depending on that, and if you'd be sorry about.
I don't know. I want to make for your mother or something.
No, don't be sorry for my mother for sure. For sure, don't be sorry for my mother.
Oh my god. So since we know this about you, could you tell me one thing that people don't know about you, and one thing that everyone was?
Oh, that's a good question. One thing that people don't know about me, I would say, is probably I cry very easily in front of movies. You know, because I look like a jerk, so people think I don't have like any feelings or whatever. But actually, do you? Okay.
I know.
Sometimes. It's right. But yeah, so I cry very easily in front of movies. Like, I actually like movies that make me cry. Yes.
Like Terminator.
Terminator. Yeah, the moment with Arnold.
Arnold
I'll be back. I'm like, no! You've been there already.
Or the what was it? Apes Planet?
Planet of the Apes. Oh, I do a great Caesar, but no, it's just me doing like ape voices.
Cool.
But yeah, I really like it. Oh, Planet of the Apes. I talk all day about. I watched it with my girlfriend, and she was kind of getting into like, I think she liked Caesar, you know. Weirdly,
Which one was Caesar?
Caesar was the mayor in the leader.
Yeah, she seems like she likes the alpha.
Yeah, the alpha. Which I don't know what she's doing with me, but
Or the jerkest in the dude.
that is me. That's something I would say people know about me. There, it's that I say whatever. I say bad stuff. No,
Yeah, you offend people.
I offend people. Yeah, I guess that's something people know about me. Yeah. I say whatever.
Well, maybe we can jump from here to different languages you use in comedy. Yes. So starting from where are you from? Where is your origins? So don't think that they will not know, but
I'm French. I was like born in France, but I was raised here since I was 4. So that's also why I say I'm French Luxembourgish, because that's pretty much as Luxembourgish as you get. Except if your grandparents are brothers and sisters, then you're full Luxembourg. No. Which happens to me there. Which happens. If you're watching this video and you understand what I'm saying, it means that nothing went wrong.
Okay, so do you speak German?
I
Or which languages do you do comedy?
I tried German comedy once. And it was in front of a German crowd. And it made me like German people less. So I have stopped doing comedy in front of Germans. Because they are, harsh. It's the first time I've been insulted after a show. And I didn't even do there was no offending stuff for once, you know. For once, I didn't even try to be kind of provocative. I just tried to do my jokes. And then after the show, some Germans came to insult me because I bombed, which was fair. They just came up to insult me. I was like, that's the first time in my life.
Yeah. Which city was that?
That was Saarbrücken.
Oh.
Come to get you.
People. What have you done?
Yeah, that was a rough name. But I do comedy.
Like an open bar?
No, it was like a cabaret, whatever kind of thing, where they want to try to have a comedian. And
it's why they were not there for you.
They were not there for me for sure, but I didn't have to, so I was doing this for free. Yeah, but I perform also in French and in English. And Luxembourgish sometimes, but it's more rare.
Which one you like most? English, French?
Actually, I like English the best, even though French is my mother tongue. I like English the best because I feel like the English crowds, they get exposed to American comedy a lot. If they get exposed to comedy, it's American. And American comedy sets boundaries way higher. French comedy is a lot of like, oh, you cannot say this, you cannot say that. And French comedy is a lot of character playing, skits and stuff. In American comedy, especially in the last few years, there's a lot of people who just say whatever. And they mean it to make it funny. They're not on a political rally, but they just go for laughs and they don't care about like the offensives. So I like English ones.
Because of the freedom and
The culture of the crowd.
Yeah, makes sense. Also, the culture in Luxembourg also makes sense. Like the English-speaking community is mostly expats and international crowd. French-speaking community is mostly Belgians.
Belgians. And then for them, you have to speak very slowly for them understand the jokes.
So can we say your comedy, which is the style retarded comedy, goes well with the French crowd?
I do actually different kind of jokes with the French because I know they're not into, like if I do a straight up stand up thing, it works less. They want to hear about maybe more about my life, or they want to hear me do characters and stuff like that. But French are less about just pure stand up where you talk about something, like for example, in the English comedy, you talk a lot about an opinion and then you talk about like how it's funny. You make it funny. In French comedy, it's more about like your life.
About Luxembourg comedy, what do you think? Like, let's also ask, how did you start comedy? How do you find the comedy scene in Luxembourg at the moment? How was it evolved since you started? And also, maybe in a bigger picture, how it is going in Europe? You like it, or what parts you like or what parts you don't?
Make an essay.
In the French, you should be good at that.
Yes. No, actually, I found out about comedy. I started here in Luxembourg Comedy. First show I ever did was here.
Oh, boss. Yes, so
Alright. Updown Bar, exactly, was really cool.
going on every Thursday. It's 9 p.m. open mics.
I've seen it. There was a lot of evolution because we had new members, proactive members. Because the thing with comedians is we're all lazy. So yeah, that's her. And we had a few more very proactive people, and they started making shows. They made like new comedy scenes happen. So yeah, and now we have a comedy club in Luxembourg. So it has evolved. There's more shows. When I started, it was one show every Thursday, and now Scott Werther started doing new shows on Wednesdays and Sundays. So that's just open mics, and what I like about it is how open it is. Because I've performed in Belgium and I've performed once in the US. There, you gotta be lucky to be picked or to have some kind of name recognition for them too, even for open mics. Here, you show up, you go. Oh, yeah, that's what I like least.
Exactly. I really like it because, for example, maybe in the past there were so many demands, maybe about 20 comedians were queuing for 8 spots, 10 spots, but nowadays it's quite easy to get a spot. And I also know, like, if you, even for open mics, you need to apply at least 1 week before. But sometimes it makes sense. In Berlin, for example, for this one of the open mics, you have to sign up 3 months ago. And I was like, I did that, like I signed up last month and I'm gonna go up next month for 5 minutes, by the way, not even silly. So in that sense, you're very right. And if anyone wants to try comedy, you just sign up and show. You show up and sign up and call.
Show up, you go.
Go up first.
Yeah, first you go up, then you show up, then you ask people with that word. Yes.
Yes, right. If you compare French and English thing, which was better?
French and English? I depends on what we take, because I've performed in Belgium also. And the Belgian crowds are really cool. They, like, even if you're not funny, they'll try. This is not like sometimes
Opposite of Germans.
yes, the Germans are like, this is not perfect. It's bullshit. No, the French shows are very different. But I like it because also I feel like you are closer to the people in French. But I've already said, like, I like the material I can do better in English.
Let's make more jokes, but tell me a joke.
Oh, that is okay. I'll tell you not one of my jokes because those are for the stage and it doesn't work without a crowd. But I'll tell you a joke I really like. One of the favorite jokes. When I meet a kid, I always tell this joke. So it's a blind guy. He walks into a bar with his dog, and then he takes the dog by the leash and just spins him around like this, and then he throws the dog on the other. No, he just spins him around, doesn't throw, because he's a good master. He just spin the dog, and the bartender's like, "What are you doing?" "I'm looking around."
Oh, nice. How many seconds?
Wow. I expected no laugh. I was fine with no laugh. I was not expecting the delayed laughs.
But I mean, so if someone asks you, hey, you're a comedian, tell me a joke, you tell this joke? Or do you tell them, no, you should pay for hearing it?
Please. You don't have to pay. You just have to come here. Not even on time. Sorry.
Just come.
Yeah, just come here. But yeah, it's kind of like the worst thing people can do is like, so tell me a joke, and you're like, no, I'm not gonna. I had this once in a job interview. People were like, tell me a joke. I said, this is not gonna work. Yeah, they were like, tell me a joke, and I just, and they didn't like it, but at least I stood by my principles of this not what you're supposed to.
Yeah, yes, especially not in a job interview. Yeah. Oh, but maybe it's a good practice to prepare a job for a possible job interview.
I mean, if because I had this on my CV, comedy, so they are gonna ask. So maybe
It's also your CV. Wow.
I don't I put it. I don't have enough hobbies to not put it to. I have like what gym. Now I write martial arts, but I need one thing that is not. I've done it. I get my ass whooped, but I've done it.
What's the martial arts?
I've done jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai.
Why was it Queenstown?
Because the people I train with are like 20, 22, and they beat my ass. And then I'm 32 and I don't recover. And I'm just hurt for like 3 weeks.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
You need to also survive. You need to protect your own.
Yeah. And the ego, oh God. There's nothing more humbling than martial arts because you get beat up and then you're like, what?
Let's go and open mic and beat up the audience.
Yeah, right? What can I do about it? I can't do anything.
Oh, really? That's why. You.
I go. Yeah, but if I really roast the crowd, it's because they've done something. I remember one time there was one girl. She was not listening. She was on her phone or talking to a friend. Like, hey, you gotta listen to the comedian talking. She was like, well, if you were funnier. I'm like,
Oh my God, was that the Norwegian girl?
maybe, yeah. She was like, yeah, you gotta be funnier. And I was like, okay, you started it, and now I'm gonna.
Yeah, I know.
And then I answered, and she was like, it's like, you started it. How am I? How didn't you expect it?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, if they want it, you should too. But sometimes people just like tell their names, and you are like, what a name.
Some people have crazy names also. I mean, I only do this to white people, because I can't make fun of non-white guys. That's a risky business.
Unless they are Asian or like.
I don't make fun of black people's names. Crazy?
No, I know you make like some.
Luxembourg. Yeah.
But you can do that. Like if you are from Luxembourg or France, whatever.
I had a lot of jokes about Luxembourg, and one time I had an Italian guy after the show be like, "Oh, your Luxembourgish jokes are very offensive." Shut the fuck up! You're not in any position to tell me.
Oh no. And you also heard his Italian accent.
Yes, very much. I used to do the Italian accent for no reason. I used to do it at some point when I was on stage.
I know. Like you were working on your Italian accent, but I thought you were going to do other accents too. Like, hey, okay, this week I'm working on my German accent. This week I'm working on my.
The thing is, with the accent comes a whole personality. Like the Italian guy. Actually, when I do the Italian accent, I feel like sometimes I'm funnier. If I do German accent, maybe I'm better at working on cars, but I'm definitely not funnier.
Or like better at taxi.
Exactly. Exterminating people. Stuff like that, typical German stuff.
How about your best and worst memories in comedy?
The worst memory has to be that German show I did, where people insulted me after. Because first I was bombing on stage in front of the largest audience I've ever done it in front. So the bombing was enough for me, It's like, it's enough of a But then they came and solved me. That was the worst thing. Like I'm just like I didn't get paid. It was like I did it for free. I had to drive for 2 hours. You know, it was like a lot of negative stuff. And then I bombed, which that happens. And then they insult me. So all of the things that could be bad were bad. The best memory, I mean, thanks to Sandeep, because he likes when I open for him, so he lets me open whenever I can. I could perform in the Comedy Store in London, which I felt like a huge fraud, of course, because I was seeing all the pictures of all the people that have performed there, Jimmy Carr, and like a lot of famous comedians, and I'm like, I'm going on this stage. That's a fraud, but that's one of the best memories, yeah. And also, I mean, the best maybe the memories that will come to me is also like the dating confessions I've had with Sandeep, where we were really having an amazing ping pong of jokes. That's my the flow. In the flow, yeah. I say something funny, he says something funnier. I say something even funnier, and he says like something to top it off, which is amazing. Yeah. Oh.
That's a great comedy though, Sandeep and Chip, by the way. Like that's a great memory. You are traveling for these shows. Like how many cities you performed so far, organic countries?
So countries, if I put my mind to it, I probably could count them. But I've done a lot of cities with Sandeep. We've done a lot of like Germany, Eastern Europe. We've done Czech Republic. We've done Bratislava. We've done amazing cities, which was really cool. We had a Poland tour with Sandeep, which was also really cool. Like I could see a lot of different cities in Poland, and at some point you kind of feel home. Yeah, that's full. So yeah, a lot of different cities, countries. I went to the U.S. That's where I don't know if you remember if you had already part of Comedy, but we did Hecklemania once, where the audience heckles us and we roast them back, and that's something I saw in the U.S. This kind of show, not exactly this one, but this kind of show, and yeah, that was really cool. I wrote that was also about fun.
Oh, so the idea came from US too.
Yeah, that's why I saw it in the.
Oh, sorry. What else? Worst and best. Worst place you did comedy, best place in cool. But worst place could be also an absurd place, like I don't know, Gothic festival, or I don't know. Once I did a comedy in a hairdresser.
Hairdresser. Oh God,
Stuff like that.
the worst place. It's often not so much the place as this the setup. I once had the mic die on me while I was performing in a very long room. It was in a restaurant, and the mic just stopped working, and the room was so long I couldn't. It wasn't just like a small cozy thing. I had to start like throwing my voice out, which kind of makes the jokes worse when you're just yelling them, you know. And then I was there, and I did this,
And then Germans.
and then German. The best place, yeah, it has to be the Comedy Store. Yeah.
And what are your next projects for comedy? Like, what you want to do with comedy? Where do you want to go? Do you see you will be doing comedy in the future? Like,
I think I'll never really stop doing comedy. I don't know if I'll try to make it something. You know, I work for the government. I get paid a good amount that I will never complain about. I'm very happy with my job. So the thing is, like, I'm not sure I'm a risk taker enough to really try to make it something. But yeah, the project is having as much shows that I can free myself for. And most of that with Sandeep. A lot of shows with Sandeep, if it's touring, you know, dating confessions, or whatever kind of shows here in Luxembourg. I mean, I was part of the Hot Jokes, which is
yes.
really good, even though my tummy hurt a lot.
Richard was the first edition's MC and the last edition's winner.
Co-winner.
Co-winner. Like, people can book you for private parties.
I have actually done that once. I did it at a birthday.
Oh, cool.
Just someone. I'm gonna be humble again. Someone wanted Sandeep, but Sandeep couldn't, so he referred me. And when you go I did a birthday, and when you go there, I just did crowdwork because they don't want to. For sure don't want to hear about my life. They want to. I'm already interrupting the fun they having between themselves, so I'm trying to make them part of it. And it was actually really fun. You know, there was about like 50 people there. Some of them were standing, some of them were sitting. There were kids running and stuff. And I kind of made sure.
Some must go or sorry.
Oh no, it was he rent not rent, but he took like something from the municipality or something like that. He had a big room, and it was really cool from it. So if you want to book me for that,
Yeah, I'm trying to promote each comedian here. So far, I don't think anything. I don't think.
how many
anyone-
views are we getting?
How many
Views.
views? It depends on how funny you are.
No.
No, I'm just gonna blame
I'm gonna look it up. I'm sure it's okay. It's 300 views, right?
300.
Yeah.
Maybe next year we'll reach it. If you combine all 3 episodes have been released so far,
Yeah.
we can get 150. Oh, Jesus. But it's a slow process, you know. It's podcast about like some comedians
Yeah.
of the
Nobody.
sorry to use it.
Yeah, very niche. It's a niche pothead. But if you're watching this,
Exactly. You're a special person.
just special. I don't know what way, but you're very special. Go check yourself out. Do yourself thing.
And come to watch us
Every
Updown at Thursday.
And now also on Wednesday at
Grand Plus.
Grand Place, yeah. It's a
Oh, such a pronunciation.
yeah, that's Luxembourg.
Yeah. Say it again.
Grand Place,
It's 8 p.m. Well,
8 p.m. And I think on Sundays it's here. I think now it's 6 p.m. I'm not sure if you've confirmed that. You'll see it on Instagram if you go to Luxembourg.
Yeah, follow Luxembourg Comedy. Follow Richard Fox Comedy. Follow me, Jerry the Comic.
Jerry the Comic.
Still, but I may change it. Jerry. Yeah.
You want to? I mean, we'll see if this keeps. But you want to like Ricky Fox? No, that was special. I'm Rich Fox, and at some point a comedian joined, and his name is Ricky Fox. We didn't accept that. Yeah.
Oh my god, it's like it should be illegal. It should be illegal.
Yeah.
Like you cannot come up with like, "Hey, I'm Sandeep," you know. And
I would stand it with an A.
Exactly. Like,
I mean, if your name is Sandeep, but his name is not Richard, and his last name has nothing to do with Fox. Come on. That's why I guess I got to keep it.
yeah, but it must be a
I was
boost for your ego.
That I got to keep it. Yeah, I was really happy. I got to keep it thanks to Ken Park, who just was like, "No, I'm not introducing you as Ricky Fox," and he's like, he got it. And Eric Lintz, he understood it, but because I didn't want to be the guy that was like, "Okay, we got to do something about this," because that would be shitty, you know. So I was just like, okay, I guess now it's Richard Fox and Ricky Fox, and we're gonna get people confused. And but no, the things happened that made it change. I was very happy about it.
Yeah, exactly. Otherwise, we would have called you Fox the retarded.
Retard Fox. That's Sandeep calls me that a lot. He thinks my if I do a solo show, it should be called Retard Fox. Like instead of the ICH, you scratch it and an ET. Retard Fox. I'd be down for it, but we think maybe some people would like it.
Follow our podcast, like the podcast, subscribe to our channel, and see you at the next show.
All 50 of you.
I think 3, 5. Oh my god.